What if I told you that the downfall of kings, CEOs, and great empires doesn't begin with betrayal or even attack? It begins with a smile. Welcome to the world of power, where every silent compromise, every overlooked disrespect, every flattering word could be the beginning of your end. This isn't about conspiracy theories or dramatic coups. This is about the quiet, invisible erosion that turns leaders into puppets and visionaries into victims. You're not losing because you're weak. You're losing because you're blind to what's slowly killing your authority. This video will pull back the curtain. We'll expose the 7 silent poisons that corrode leadership from within, and the real reason why even the strongest leaders fall. But be warned, this isn't comfortable, it's not polite, and it's definitely not motivational fluff. This is the raw anatomy of power, and why yours might be slipping away. If you're building a business, leading a team, holding influence, or simply aiming to build a life others can't shake, this is the truth no one dares to tell you. Stay with me until the end, because what you learn here might just be the difference between becoming a legend or becoming a lesson. 1. The first betrayal is never loud. You think betrayal begins with a knife in the back? It doesn't. It starts when you excuse the small things, the ignored call, the delayed message, the unexplained absence when you needed them most. It begins the moment you feel the crack in trust, but say nothing. Real betrayal wears no mask. It hides in comfort. And the scariest part? If you forgive that first betrayal without consequence, you train everyone around you. You don't need enemies to fall. You only need allies who know they can walk away when it's convenient. Forgiveness is noble, but tolerance without consequence is a message, a silent billboard that says it's okay to fail me. 2. The leader who fears his own power. We've all seen it. The man at the top who hesitates, who delays decisions in the name of ethics, who refuses to act until every voice has spoken, who confuses caution for wisdom. But Machiavelli knew the truth. Hesitation is the slow death of leadership. Your followers don't need a perfect answer. They need movement, clarity, someone who acts, even when the future is unclear. A kingdom doesn't fear rebels. It fears a king who doesn't believe in his own crown. Don't mistake politeness for virtue. Sometimes morality is just fear in disguise. 3. The deadliest voice is the one that agrees. They're always there, always smiling, always saying, "Yes, you're right." But the ones who never disagree are not your friends. They are your downfall. Because they aren't supporting you, they're sedating you, feeding your ego while preparing their escape. Power is never lost through criticism. It's lost through silence. If no one dares to challenge you, you are no longer a leader. You're a performer in a room full of paid applause. Keep those who challenge you. Eliminate those who only echo you. 4. Public disrespect is a warning shot. It starts with a joke, a smirk, a question of your judgment in front of others. You might think, "I'll let it go. I'm mature." Wrong. Power is built on perception, and perception dies when you ignore public defiance. The crowd doesn't care about your intentions. They care about your reactions. Let one challenge go unanswered, and you've handed a microphone to every future rebel. You didn't just lose respect. You gave others permission to test you. Silence in private is fine, but silence in public is surrender. 5. The quiet rot of comfort leadership doesn't collapse in crisis. It collapses in comfort. You start promoting the obedient, rewarding the convenient, celebrating those who tell you what you want to hear. And slowly, your circle fills with yes men. No challengers, no builders, just followers waiting for direction. Comfort is seductive, but it's also poison. If you only hear praise, you're already in decline. Seek the difficult voices. Reward the ones who tell you the hard truth. 6. When silence means you've already lost. You walk into the room. They smile, they nod. But no one really speaks. That's not respect. That's fear. And fear doesn't build loyalty. It breeds quiet resentment. If your people stop talking to you, they've already given up on your leadership. They're just waiting for the moment to leave or revolt. Leadership is not control, it's connection. And once that breaks, you're a statue wearing a crown. 7. Crisis doesn't break you, you do. It's not the storm that kills a leader. It's the decision to become someone else just to survive it. Your strength isn't your rank, your role, or your title. It's your ability to stay true to your code, especially when everything is burning. Compromise your values to hold power, and you've already lost it. You don't need to be unbreakable. You need to be unshakable in your standards. Now let me ask you this. How many of these have you tolerated? How many of these poisons have you allowed to live in your business, your relationships, your leadership? Because if you let even one stay, the rot has already begun. And here's what no one tells you. What you tolerate today becomes your kingdom tomorrow. Your team will follow your example, not your words. If you reward betrayal with silence, expect disloyalty. If you reward flattery, expect manipulation. If you tolerate weakness in yourself, expect collapse. But here's the opportunity. It's not too late, because the strongest empires aren't the ones that never fell. They're the ones that rebuilt, stronger, sharper, with eyes wide open. If you've made these mistakes, good, you're human. Now it's time to rise. If this message hit you hard, if it woke something in you, don't leave without doing something about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and tell me which of the 7 threats you've seen or lived. This isn't entertainment, this is survival. And in a world that's constantly trying to erode your power, your clarity, and your voice, you have to fight to stay awake. Lead wisely, lead fiercely, and never ever forget, you don't lose power all at once. You lose it every time you stay silent when you should have spoken. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. What if the people closest to you, the ones you trusted most, were the real reason your empire will fall? Not because they openly betrayed you, but because they smiled, stayed silent, and waited. This isn't fiction. This is the hidden truth about power, and why most people who lose it never saw it coming. If you're building something important, if you're a leader, a creator, a builder of influence or legacy, then listen carefully, because today we're pulling back the mask. You're about to discover the 7 silent threats that erode power from the inside. Not through rebellion, not through war, but through something far more dangerous: quiet betrayal. By the time you finish reading this, you'll be able to spot the enemies hiding behind politeness, ambition disguised as virtue, and the behaviors that will eventually destroy everything you've worked for, if you let them. Stay with me until the end. And if what you hear awakens something deep in you, if it reflects a truth you felt but never spoken, then subscribe, because there's more coming, and this is only the beginning. 8. Ingratitude. The coldest knife Machiavelli once warned, nothing corrodes power faster than ingratitude. The people you help the most will often be the first to disappear when things go wrong. Why? Because they never saw your kindness as a bond. They saw it as a transaction, and when that transaction ends, so does their loyalty. They don't just forget what you did, they use it against you. They whisper, "I used to be close to him. I know where he's weak." You gave them access, and now they use that access to dismantle you. If you're building an empire, learn this early. Gratitude is not something you can demand, but ingratitude, it must be punished. Because if you don't, you teach your entire circle. Betrayal has no consequence. And once they believe that, your power isn't respected, it's measured. 9. Ambition without loyalty. Ambition is the engine of empires, but ambition without loyalty, that's a ticking time bomb. There are people who perform brilliantly, say all the right things, and never cause a problem, until the moment your throne trembles. Then they rise, not as your ally, but as your replacement. They don't rebel, they wait, they listen, they record your every flaw. And when the moment comes, they don't fight for you. They fight to be you. The only thing worse than an enemy is an ambitious neutral. Machiavelli advised, if you can't bind them with fear, interest, or shared destiny, don't let them grow, because the man who refuses to commit to you is already planning to outlast you. 10. Flattery, the sweetest poison. Not every danger wears a sword, some wear a smile. Flattery feels good, it's addictive, but it's also the most effective way to blind a leader. The ones who always agree, who always praise, who never say no, they're not allies, they're shadows. They don't prepare you for threats, they prepare themselves to survive them. A loyal friend will make you uncomfortable. A flatterer will make you vulnerable. When everyone around you is nodding, clapping, agreeing, you're not leading, you're hallucinating. Keep people who challenge you. Remove the ones who mirror you. 11. The coward on the throne. You don't need to be perfect, but you must be decisive. Leaders fall not because they make mistakes, but because they hesitate. Cowardice in leadership spreads like disease. When your followers see you stall, delay, or wait for consensus in moments of urgency, they stop believing. Not because you're wrong, but because you're uncertain. In times of peace, everyone follows. In times of crisis, they follow the one who moves. Strength doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from acting anyway. 12. The weaponization of morality. Not every attack looks like rebellion. Some wear the clothes of compassion. A new enemy has entered leadership spaces, the moral manipulator. They speak of justice, transparency, ethics. But their real goal? Your throne. They ask questions they don't want answered. Is he really fit to lead? Don't we deserve someone better? They don't want truth. They want doubt. Once a leader is explaining himself, he's already losing. Machiavelli warned, never allow morality to become the rope tightening around your position. Real morality is quiet. It advises in private. Fake morality performs. And performance is often a power play. 13th public challenge, the crack in the wall. Power lives in perception. And nothing kills that perception faster than letting a public challenge go unanswered. It might be a joke, a defiant comment, a look. You think ignoring it makes you mature. It doesn't. It makes you weak. Every act of public defiance that goes unpunished teaches the crowd. You can be tested, and the moment they start testing you, they've already stopped respecting you. Silence in private is strategy. Silence in public is surrender. 14. Comfort. The beginning of the end. Most leaders don't fall in crisis. They fall in comfort. The palace gets warm. The circle gets friendly. And soon, you're surrounded by yes men. You start rewarding those who are convenient, not those who are competent. And little by little, your empire fills with performers, not protectors. The collapse is never loud. It begins with praise, with ease, with a leader who forgets the hunger that built his throne. Stay hungry, stay sharp. Still here? Good, because this is where it matters most. If you're still reading, you're not average, you're not asleep. You're the kind of person who wants to lead with clarity, who wants to protect what you're building, not with hope, but with understanding. So here's what you need to remember. The people you forgive too easily will teach everyone else how to betray you. The flattery you enjoy today may blind you tomorrow. The silence you accept will be the silence that destroys you. The morality used to question you may be a mask for someone else's ambition. And here's the truth no one tells you. You don't lose power all at once. You lose it one tolerance at a time. So if this resonated, if you felt called out, woken up, or even just slightly more alert, then do something about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with the one trait you've seen around you and what you plan to do about it. Because this series isn't entertainment, it's armor. And in the next episode, we're going deeper into the psychological warfare of influence, betrayal, and how to become untouchable. You ready for that? Then hit subscribe. Because we're not done yet. We're just getting started.